hesitation on the shot. Mizrahi's feeling it. Make it 3 for 3. And Ciolino, see you later. Here's a chance for Sias, and another shot, and a goal!
Will Spare will take it all the way! Touchdown Seahawks!
The extra look, and the goal! A gorgeous goal by
We are at Locust Valley High School in the Varsity Media Game of the Week featuring the Baymen of Oyster Bay and the Falcons of Locust Valley. Well, good evening, everyone. I'm Peter Schwartz, joined by former MacArthur High School head coach Eric Rubin. Should be a good game here tonight as Oyster Bay takes on Locust Valley. And Eric, first of all, welcome to the telecast. And we'll start with Oyster Bay. It's been a tough season for them. A young team, but 5-13 overall, 5-10 in the conference. But this is a team that is looking for the future.
Yeah, thanks, Peter. Glad to join you. They start 2 sophomores, Joseph Gotti, number 20, and 21, Austin Pilatos, who are both having really strong seasons. So with those two returning for the next couple seasons, the future is definitely bright at Oyster Bay.
And when you look at their roster, you look no further than number 4, DeAndre Marston, their senior guard, a terrific player who loves to attack the basket, and he's a guy that we're going to spend a lot of time looking at tonight.
Yeah, talking to Coach Brian Boyle, he loves DeAndre Marston. Watching some film on him, he does attack the basket. Like you said, he's aggressive, he's diving on the floor, a player that coaches really love to have, and he's a great leader too, a quiet leader, Coach Boyle said, but a terrific leader for Oyster Bay.
And as Eric alluded to, Brian Boyle, their longtime head coach with the Baymen. And now we look at the home team, the Locust Valley Falcons, on their way to the playoffs, 10-8 overall, 9-6 in conference. And you look at them, and a big surprise tonight, he's been out with an injury. We thought it was a season ender, but playing with a torn meniscus tonight is their senior guard, Tyler Incorvaya, and that was a tremendous surprise when Coach Andrew Siegel came over to tell us that he was going to play.
Yeah, he came over, about 15-20 minutes ago and let us know, and that's got to be a big shot in the arm for Locust Valley because he's definitely one of their top players. He's averaging over 11 or 12 points a game. He's a good three-point shooter, a good leader on the court, and that's a big, big addition as they get ready for their playoff run.
And we're also going to pay a lot of attention to a couple other players on Locust Valley, including number 3, Silvio Tasso, and also number 20, Dom Marone, their senior guard, and we'll be spending a lot of time talking about him. It is senior night here at Locust Valley High School, and just a few minutes ago, prior to the opening tip-off, they had their senior night ceremony. 10 seniors on this team, so this is going to be a team next year that's in transition, losing a lot of players and welcoming a lot of players up from junior varsity.
Yeah, from what I've heard, they have a really good junior class, so even though the players are not necessarily getting the playing time because the seniors are so good, they should be good for the next few years as well, and this is going to be an exciting rivalry to see develop over the next few seasons.
They're about to introduce the starting lineup, so we'll take a look at the starters for Oyster Bay. They will go with a number 4, DeAndre Marston, of course, their senior guard, 0, Vincent Arnados, a senior guard, number 11, Brian Duke, a senior forward, also number 20, Joe Gotti, a sophomore, number 21, Aston Pilatos, a sophomore, and that is Oyster Bay's starting lineup. For Locust Valley, they are going to start number 3, Silvio Tasso, in the backcourt, along with number 10, as we mentioned, Tyler Incorvaya, and then up front you've got number 20, Dom Marone, who will be focusing on tonight, also number 23, Michael Palagonia, and number 32, John DiDario. End of the regular season for both of these teams. For one team, Oyster Bay, they're looking ahead to next year and just want to finish on a strong note here tonight.
Yeah, absolutely, and I know Coach Boyle does a lot in the offseason with these players, so to come into Locust Valley, and if they're able to pull off a big victory here, that'll send a lot of momentum into the offseason as they get ready for their spring and summer league games.
And Locust Valley, looking at the playoffs, they started with a very, very tough non-league schedule, and you're a former coach, and you know what it's like to have your team ready for that conference, and it's funny in college football, some teams are criticized for playing cream puff non-conference games, but Locust Valley, they went the other way, and I think that really prepared them for the end of the season here into the playoffs.
Yeah, absolutely, and this is a tough conference. This conference sometimes with the smaller schools doesn't come up that tough, but this year it's really come up tough. I mean, Wheatley and Malvern, even Carl Place is having a terrific season, Locust Valley. So definitely a tough conference, and really exciting to see this playoff bracket play out.
How about just in general, this Locust Valley team? They like to space the floor. They've had to deal with some injuries, but they're a team that likes to spread the ball around, get a lot of people involved.
Oh, absolutely, and they can shoot the ball too, especially with Tyler Incorvaya coming back. They have 3 players with 27 or more threes on the season. I don't think I had more than 2 with 25 in all my years coaching in one season. They have 3, including 2 guys, Palagonia and Marone, who have over 40 threes on the season already with 1 game to go.
And Locust Valley's been banged up a little bit during the season, and that they could have a little bit of a problem here with Oyster Bay tonight, because Oyster Bay likes to trap and they like to play an up-tempo style, and you wonder if that might give Locust Valley a little bit of a problem here tonight.
Yeah, we'll see how they handle it. Oyster Bay likes to play that 1-2-2 trapping zone defense, so when the ball's passed to the wing, you're going to see a double team, and we'll see, can Locust Valley move the ball quickly? Can they skip the ball? They are a tall team, which I think will definitely help, because they'll be able to see over the zone, and that's going to give them a big advantage. If they were a little shorter, it might be a little tougher, but I think they'll do a good job moving the ball against that zone.
A nice crowd coming in here to Locust Valley High School for this regular season finale. Again, Locust Valley is on their way to the playoffs at 10-8 overall, 9-6 in conference. So they want to finish on a strong note here as they get ready for the playoffs. They also want to make sure that they don't suffer any other injuries here tonight. And we talked about Oyster Bay, 5-13 overall, 5-10 in the conference. They're looking towards next season, and we're going to pause now here at Locust Valley High School for the national anthem.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.
Parents and athletes, why leave your college career in the hands of amateurs? Varsity Media produces professional college recruiting videos that you can use to help land a spot on the team. Our highlight reels have proven to save thousands of dollars in college tuition. You've worked hard and put the effort into your high school athletic career. Don't take any chances when it comes to your future. Varsity Media has been producing college recruiting videos since 2010. We understand what college coaches are looking for, and our attention to detail on your highlights will separate your resume from others. Stand out from the crowd. We'll help showcase your talents. Contact Varsity Media today and order a college recruiting video.
Peter Schwartz, Eric Rubin back at Locust Valley High School. It is Locust Valley, Oyster Bay here on the Varsity Media Sports Network. You see Oyster Bay getting ready to come out on the court in their visiting purple uniforms, and Locust Valley in their home white. See the green numbers, green stripes. And we are just moments away from the opening tip-off between Oyster Bay and Locust Valley. And for Locust Valley, it's on to the playoffs, and for Oyster Bay, it's the end of the line as they look ahead to the 22-23 season. And off the tip, Don Marone getting it over to Tasso. Tasso on the right side. Now it's into the corner. Now underneath, and a shot there is good by John DiDario, their senior forward. Nice ball movement there for Locust Valley, and now it's Oyster Bay. 3-point shot is no good. Shot taken by Gotti, and Rebound there for Tasso. And Tasso dribbling the ball, stops it. They go down low, they work it down low, and there's another basket there, a layup there by Daddario.
Great ball movement. That's how you beat a zone. Don't hold it, just move it.
Here's DeAndre Marston. We talked about him at the top of the show. Pounding the right-handed dribble, now switches over, guarded there by Tasso. Now to the top of the key as they work it down low to Marone. It's back outside here. And the shot by Pilatos, no good. And the rebound to Tasso. Tasso throws it over into the corner for Palagonia. And now you have Incorvaya. We talked about at the top, playing with a torn meniscus. And there's a three-point goal by Arnados. And it's a 7-0 lead. Or check that, Tasso. And the ball out of bounds. It's going to go back over to Locust Valley.
And you can see already a lot of threes being shot in this game. I loved Aston Pilatos, that little step back earlier. Didn't go, but that's a great move for a sophomore, and it was a good-looking shot earlier.
And there's a look at it again. Nice shot there by Palagonia. Tasso gets it down low, and shot by Marone comes up short, and Oyster Bay back the other way, still trying to get on the scoreboard here with under 6 minutes to go in the first quarter. Arnados pounding the dribble, guarded by Incorvaya. Now to Pilatos. Pilatos to Marston. Into the paint. His shot no good. And still looking for their first basket is Oyster Bay. Tasso on the right side. Now to the top of the key. Over into the corner. And there's another three-point shot. No good. Rebound put up. That's no good. And Oyster Bay comes away with the rebound as Pilatos pulled down the board. Marston into the paint, and we've got a foul before the shot. Look at the replay.
Yeah, Oyster Bay really setting a lot of ball screens with their offense, and Locust Valley not really choosing to hedge out. Marston was able to turn the corner and draw the foul.
So it's a non-shooting foul.
I think we have maybe a little blood. Joseph Gotti might have a little blood on him, so they have to sub him out, looks like.
He comes over to the bench.
Change his shirt, maybe. Locust Valley taking the time to Coach Siegel get his team together on the court there. Talk to him. A few instructions here on the out of bounds coming up for Oyster Bay underneath the basket.
Not that you want to see anyone get hurt, but it's kind of a chance for Oyster Bay to take a deep breath and calm themselves down here, down 7-0, early in the game. A chance for them to kind of relax a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. Sometimes you play a team, a good team, the speed of the game. You just got to adjust, and hopefully Oyster Bay now settles down, realize they can play with this team, and they come out stronger after this brief timeout.
Gotti gets a new undershirt, puts the jersey back on, and we're going to have play back underway here, under the basket. Into the corner, Marston. Now pounds the left dribble into the paint. Thought about shooting it. It's back out to Arnados. Marston again. Marston guarded by Tasso. Now step up shot there. Comes up short. Rebound now over into the corner. There's Gotti for the three-pointer, no good. Rebound by Duke. Again, out to Gotti. Gotti drives into the paint. And we got a double dribble there, it looks like. And a turnover, and Locust Valley gets the ball again.
You can see Marston's penetration setting up open shots for them.
Locust Valley into the front court. It's Tasso. Now they swing it over into the corner. Incorvaya with the three-pointer. No good. The rebound to Daddario. And his third basket of the game, and it's up to 9-0 now for Locust Valley.
When you crash the weak side of a zone, it's very hard to box out that weak side. So shot comes from the right corner, crashing the left side, got Locust Valley 2 points there.
Into the corner for Duke, now up top Marston. Marston from the top of the key, into the paint, lost it, was fouled on the play. And that'll be a shooting foul for Locust Valley, for Oyster Bay, as Marston will go to the line. He returned to the team this year. He had moved to Georgia, and now he's back. A big part of this Oyster Bay team this year, but he is a graduating senior. He hits the first free throw.
Got to feel good for Oyster Bay getting on the board because they're not playing badly, just having trouble putting the ball in the basket.
Second one is good, so Marston hits on both.
Here's that 1-2-2. They're extending their zone, three-quarter court.
Locust Valley able to get it into the front court. Holding it over his head there was Marone. Marone gets it back now, pounds the right-hand dribble into the corner for Palagonia. Back to Marone. Up top, Tasso drives the paint, has it knocked away, and they fight for it underneath the basket. They're going to call a jump ball, and the possession arrow belongs to Oyster Bay.
Yeah, Locust Valley is doing a good job when they get the ball in the middle there. That time, dribble penetration got caught a little out of control, but I like the idea of penetrating the zone.
Marston will bring it up the court, into the paint. The running shot is no good, but he was fouled. So electrifying move there by Marston to get into the paint, get the shot away, and he draws the foul.
Yeah, you can see why Coach Boyle loves this kid. He gets to the paint all the time here, gets a little shove, gets the shot off. He's going to get 2 shots. He drove through
2 players there to get that shot away. He misses the first free throw short.
And that was a quick change of pace there, too. He just exploded once he went to the hole.
3:23 to go in this opening quarter. And the second free throw is good. And it's a 9-3 lead for Locust Valley. And again, the press from Oyster Bay here, but Locust Valley able to get it into the front court. Palagonia to Marone. And here's a 3-point shot from the near side by Incorvaya. And the rebound to Oyster Bay, but then Locust Valley takes it right back. Into the corner, now down low, and there's a shot that's no good. Rebound, DeDario puts it in, and he's fouled.
Great job, Daniel Glavin. He provided some energy off the bench there, got a key rebound, made a nice pass. Great impact for a bench player there.
John DeDario, offensive force down low so far here tonight. A big body, but he can also knock down the open jumper when he has to, but so far he has been a force down low in the paint for Locust Valley here tonight.
Yeah, definitely. He's a handful for Oyster Bay.
At the line, trying to make it a 3-point play. And it's good. 12-3 for Locust Valley. Big start here to the first quarter for the Falcons. Now here's Marston for the Baymen. Pass inside, and Duke not able to finish it. And Locust Valley quickly back the other way. Up top, Incorvaya. Again, downloaded to Dario. DeDario puts up the shot. No good. Gets his own rebound and puts it up off the glass and in.
Yeah, DeDario is really killing him inside. They're going to have to make some kind of adjustment. It's tough when you got a big, strong kid like that who's a good player.
Big first quarter here for the Falcons. Up 14-3. Marston takes a bump. Went up for the shot. Draws the foul. The foul is going to be on Palagonia.
Yeah, just a heady play by Marston. I know we're talking about him a lot, but you can see how smart a player he is as you guys watch DeDario getting a rebound, putting it back, and just really hurting Oyster Bay inside.
Marston shooting 2. First one is in. Coming on now is Aiden Joannan for Oyster Bay, replacing Duke. Joannan, a junior forward. And they're going to look for big things. There's the second free throw is good. Joannan, they're looking for a big senior year from him next season. An athletic big man, so we'll get a little sneak peek of him here tonight as well. Locust Valley with a 14-5 lead. Ball's played to the corner and knocked out of bounds. Still going to be Locust Valley ball as the ball was deflected out.
Yeah, that time Locust Valley didn't have great spacing, and you saw those short passes from the corner to the wing. That's playing right into Oyster Bay's hands.
And the ball's played to the backcourt here. In Corvaya, again, playing with that torn meniscus. Seems amazing. There's a three-point shot in the corner. That is good for Palagonia.
Yeah, these guys can shoot, we said. We're going to see a lot of threes tonight.
Into the paint. Marston gets it back outside. Three-point shot by Arnados is no good. And Locust Valley back the other way, looking to add to this lead. Here's a three for Marone. That one is good too, from downtown Marone, and it's 20-5. Now Marston. Top of the key to Pilatos. Now driving the paint there is Pilatos, and he gets the basket.
Really like the offensive moves that Pilatos has as a sophomore. He's got a step back three. That was a great move to the basket. He's got a bright future.
30 seconds to go here in this opening quarter as Locust Valley is in command. There's a running shot by Incorvaya that's no good. And Oyster Bay has the ball. Listen, no fault of his own. He's injured. He's playing with a torn meniscus, but you think we're seeing maybe a little rustiness here from Incorvaya in the first quarter for Locust Valley.
I'm sure, and that's probably a big reason why he's playing today, to kind of get that rust off.
There's a putback by Joannan, and last-ditch effort here. The long shot by Palagonia is no good. We've reached the end of the first quarter with the score, Locust Valley 20 at Oyster Bay 9. You're watching Nassau County Boys Basketball on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.
Over the middle, he's got a man. It's complete. Ciolino. See you later.
Going long, wide open, Perazzi, he gets it, Perazzi, foot raise, 10, 5, make it, touchdown, punch, counter punch.
The Frickery Rider gets it back, goes over the top for Haberman. What a catch!
Just Ross Simmons strips him, that's loose, and Ross Simmons is going to take this the other direction. Make it, touchdown, touchdown East.
Peter Schwartz, Eric Rubin back at Locust Valley High School. We head to the second quarter, and it's the Falcons on top of the Oyster Bay Baymen by a score of 20-9, and it looks like a mismatch after one quarter, but you were talking about before how you like the way Oyster Bay is moving the ball around. It's just a matter of them knocking down the shots.
Yeah, they're creating wide open threes. They missed a couple layups. Offensively, they're doing pretty well. It's just not going in. I'm sure that will change. They have to solidify the defensive end of the court, though, if they want to get back in this game.
Here's a three-pointer by Palagonia. Comes up short, and the rebound to Gotti. Now Oyster Bay with their first possession here of the second quarter. Marston pounding the basketball to the top of the key. Three-point shot there is no good by Gotti, and the rebound to Penny. Matthew Penny, a senior, is in the game here for Oyster Bay in the second quarter. Michael Rice getting it to Marone. There's a shot from the corner by Amendolara. That is no good. And goes out of bounds, and it'll be Oyster Bay ball. So into the game, Nicholas Amendolara, a senior guard, and also number 14, Matthew Penny, a senior as well. So some changes on the court here for Locust Valley in the second quarter. Here's a pull-up shot by Pilatos comes up short, and Locust Valley back the other way.
Yeah, it just seems nothing's falling, but if they keep doing what they're doing, Oyster Bay is going to score in this game.
Down low, shot up and in for Palagonia, and he's fouled.
Yeah, nice look inside here as we see the replay. I love how Oyster Bay's Locust Valley is doing the little inside-outside game. You saw the ball go down to the post, kicked out to the three-point line, and then back into Palagonia, who finished strong and has a chance for a three-point play.
The Palagonia, a senior, the most consistent shooter on the team as he drains that free throw. And also, we heard from head coach Andrew Siegel during the week, really a terrific kid Palagonia is, and you like to hear that from as many players as possible when you're coaching a team. How it's really a nice note for the young man when the coach goes out of his way to call him a terrific kid.
Yeah, absolutely. Some of the best seasons I had coaching, win-loss wise, wasn't great, but I had some great kids, and it made coming to practice every day fun and worthwhile.
At 12 points in the loss to Wheatley on Wednesday night, and there's a foul, and Oyster Bay is going to go to the free throw line.
Nice shot by Pilatos using his body. We'll see the replay, I think, here. You can see him down low, coming across on the screen, seals the player off, a little push-out layup, draws the foul, 2 shots.
Aston Pilatos, sophomore, hits the first one. He'll get one more. He's been playing varsity basketball since the 8th grade, which is just an amazing accomplishment that you're so good at a young age that you're not even in high school yet, and you're playing varsity high school basketball.
Yeah, you don't see that too often, and you can see he's playing with a lot of poise, even though he's only a sophomore, and I'm really excited to see him as a junior and a senior in the next couple of years because he's already a pretty good player.
Brian Boyle, the head coach, labeling him the smartest player on the team and also a future leader, and so far from what we've seen here tonight, no reason that's not going to happen. Second one is no good.
Great
out
hustle.
Of bounds.
Great hustle from
right
Brian
in front
Duke.
of our broadcast position, both Brian Duke and DeAndre Marston trying to fight the basketball. I'll block you. If anybody comes towards you, I'll jump in front. I'll be the offensive line here in basketball.
All right, you're a little bigger than me, but I was ready to take the charge on that, and that's one of their bigger players.
There's
too.
a nice steal by Marston, goes up for the layup.
Great job, great hands. I love how they have active hands. They're playing that zone. Their hands are out.
Locust Valley able to escape the trap, get into the front court. Here's our first look at Rothkrug in the game for Oyster Bay. He was originally in the starting lineup, Preston Rothkrug, a junior forward, but then we found out that Incorvaya was going to be in the lineup. And here's a shot that comes up short. It's going to go back over to Locust Valley. So Preston Rothkrug on the floor for Locust Valley. He likes to shoot, can also handle the basketball.
Yeah, they're making it tough on the announcers with a ton of subs here, right?
Come the Falcons into the front court. They get it down low to Amendolara. Amendolara swings it up top to Incorvaya. Now on the right side, they work the ball around nicely. 3-point shot from the right side by Matthew Petty comes up short. Here's Amendolara, and he drains it.
Must be a crowd favorite there. The crowd goes crazy on that basket.
First basket of the night for Nicholas Amendolara.
You can see Locust Valley really crashing the boards, and that's something that's really key. When you're playing against a zone, look to crash those boards.
Down the lane came Pilatos, and he was fouled.
Yeah, good take by Pilatos. You see Marston dribbling up top, little dribble handoff. Pilatos sets his man up, a little stutter step move, hesitation move, and he's able to get to the hole and draw the foul to get 2 shots.
Pilatos at the free throw line, 25-12. It is Locust Valley on top, and first one is good. Now, Oyster Bay hanging in there, Eric. It was a tough start in the first quarter, but we've seen in the last a few minutes. They've got their poise back a little bit, and they're competing.
Yeah, it's been a pretty even game since the start. They just dug themselves a hole. If they can somehow keep Locust Valley off the offensive glass, that's got to be about 12 points on second chance points, and that's the difference in the game.
Second one is no good. Rebound pulled down by Rothkrug. Down the lane, and there's a basket for Charlie Jacobs, a senior guard. Brings a lot of energy and intensity off the bench. Here's a three-point shot. That is no good from Pilatos, and the rebound taken by Locust Valley. Quickly into the front court. Down low is Jacobs in the corner. And ball goes out of bounds, and that's a turnover.
Yeah, good defense, just staying on their feet, Oyster Bay. You can see a little trap in the corner. Ball goes out of bounds. Oyster Bay ball.
And look, he just dribbled.
Just sliced through the defense there.
Yep.
Great take.
And here's Oyster Bay with the ball. Top of the key is Pilatos. Over to Marston. Up top, long three-pointer is no good by Pilatos. The rebound up and in by Aiden Joannin.
I love what they did there. They slowed it down a little bit. They worked the ball around a little bit. Slow the tempo down. Get Locust Valley a little off their offensive game. If you can't stop them on the defensive end too well, slow them down with your offense.
Here's Incorvaya with the three-pointer, and that is no good. Rebound to Oyster Bay, and they're back the other way. Marston driving the paint, and he's going to go for traveling. One too many steps, and he's shaken up a little bit. He was hit as he went to the basket, but they're going to say that he had steps beforehand.
Yeah, tough from our vantage point. Might have got hit in the face, but it's possible he took 3 steps before he got hit, and that's what they're saying.
Incorvaya into the front court. Over to Mendelara. Now here's Jacobs on the right side. Down low, Amendelara, back up top. Driving the paint is Jacobs, and he's got the basket, but I think he's going to he was fouled before the shot.
Here's the ball up top. Again, they're doing a good job getting into the high post, which is the foul line area. Little crossover. Good take. They call it on the floor, so we Locust Valley ball underneath.
Daddario and Palagonia back into the game for the Falcons. Amendelara for 3. No good.
Yeah, Locust Valley was able to survive with getting a rest for some of their starters. Oyster Bay took a little advantage, climbing back slightly.
Marston right down the paint. Pitches it out. Here's a shot, no good. Rebound again, no good. Now the putback. Another offensive rebound there for Joannin, and he puts it in. And we've got a timeout on the floor by Locust Valley. So we'll step aside. 3:26 to go in the second quarter. 27-17 Locust Valley on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.
Parents and athletes, why leave your college career in the hands of amateurs? Varsity Media produces professional college recruiting videos that you can use to help land a spot on the team. Our highlight reels have proven to save thousands of dollars in college tuition. You've worked hard and put the effort into your high school athletic career. Don't take any chances when it comes to your...
Back in Locust Valley High School, Peter Schwartz, Eric Rubin. After the timeout, Falcons with the basketball. Locust Valley up 27-17. Again, Oyster Bay playing tough after that rough start when they trailed 9-0. And now a steal. Marston into the front court, exploding towards the basket. It's up, no good, but he draws the foul.
Yeah, I can't tell you how many fouls this guy has drawn, Marston. He's been at the line several times already and putting Locust Valley close to the bonus here. I think they're in the bonus now. That's a shooting foul, but for the next 3 minutes, every Locust Valley foul will be at least a 1-and-1 for Oyster Bay, so they'll be wise to attack the basket and try and draw some fouls.
DeAndre Marston hits the first one, and he'll get another.
Yeah, and you can see Marston just such a big part of their offense. Even when he's not scoring, he's driving and setting up other players.
And he's fearless. He really is. He's a couple of times in the game so far as the second one is good. he has literally attacked, 2 or 3 players as he's driven into the paint.
Yeah, he got hit in the face a few moments ago, and what does he do the next time down the court? Takes it hard to the basket right again, not intimidated whatsoever.
Down low, Palagonia gets it back up top. And he's going to get called for steps there. Charlie Jacobs on the left side. And a turnover at Oyster Bay. They're down by 8 now, a chance to get down to 6 or 5 here.
Yeah, well, we saw their offense is looking good. They were just missing some shots that they usually hit. And they're finally clamping down the defensive end. You see not too many offensive rebounds for Locust Valley, and that's been the difference for Oyster Bay to get back in it.
Pilatos, top of the key, drives, kicks it back over to the side. And driving the paint, Joannin, and his shot is up, it's good, he's fouled.
Wow, great drive to the basket. Good control of his body. He took the foul, didn't affect the shot at all, and he scored on a nice little, looked like a running hook. We'll take a look at the replay here.
Nice move here.
Yeah, a little running hook shot there. Really nice shot.
And all of a sudden, it's down to a 6-point game, 27-21. And the free throw is good, so it's down to 5.
Hey, Joanna's made a big difference off the bench. He's got at least 3 or 4 rebounds. In fact, I think on one possession he had 3, so he probably has like 5 or 6 offensive rebounds already in the game.
Silvio Tasso to Marone, back to Tasso, and now here's Palagonia on the left side. Palagonia driving towards the paint, gets it back out to Jacobs. Tasso driving, puts it up, and no good. Rebound, Oyster Bay.
And I like that Oyster Bay has brought their defense back in a little bit.
Right down the lane, there's the putback, no good. As Gotti's not able to finish it.
Yeah, if you watch, Oyster Bay is not coming out as far on their defense.
And there's a block as Palagonia went down the middle. Actually, they're going to say no, it was not a block.
Yeah, I think it hit back off of him, went out off of him.
Well, I think it was definitely a block, but as you pointed out, it looked like it may have gone off of him and out of bounds, and we're going to have a timeout here by Oyster Bay. We'll hold it here with 1-4 action. This is going to be a full timeout, so we'll step aside. 1:49 to go in the second quarter. It's Oyster Bay trailing Locust Valley 27-22 on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.
It's time to get hyped with Varsity Media. We offer an array of video services sure to amp up your team. From staged preseason hype videos with custom lighting and smoke machines to sideline highlights of a big game. How can your team stand out from the crowd? Contact Varsity Media today and let us tailor something your squad will never forget. These are the best times of your life. Capture them in the most creative ways possible with the sports leader, Varsity Media.
Peter Schwartz, Eric Rubin back at Locust Valley High School, where the Falcons had a double-digit lead, seemed like a few minutes ago, but now it's down to 5, 27-22, and Oyster Bay with the basketball. And Eric, it's been a little subtle change in strategy for Oyster Bay that's helped them get back into this game.
Yeah, I love what they did on defense. Coach Boyle brought the defense back in a little bit, so they're packing in a little bit. Locust Valley was doing a great job. As Pilatos hits another shot, Locust Valley was doing a great job of breaking that extended zone of Oyster Bay. But now, as you see, they packed it in more of a 2-3 look, and Locust Valley's having a little more trouble with that because they can't get the ball inside as easily as they were earlier.
And ball comes back out. And Locust Valley back into the front court. 3-point shot by Jacobs. Doesn't fall down for him. And now it's a 3-point game, and Oyster Bay with a chance to get within 1 or perhaps tie the game.
And you see 5 guys for Oyster Bay on the defensive glass there.
There's a turnover by Marston, and the Falcons back the other way. Jacobs to the basket, puts it up and in, and it's back up to a 5-point game with less than a minute to go here in the first half.
Big defensive play. Marone sunk down on great rotation, was able to steal that pass from Marston, led to 2 points, a big basket late in the first half.
Brian Duke up top now to Arnados. Kicks it back out to Marston. Marston guarded there by Marone. And And there's a three-pointer. Three-pointer for Palados to get the Baymen within 2.
Yeah, and again, they didn't use the ball screen, but that ball screen offense is really doing a good job.
There's a 3 for Tasso on the other end. And one last shot here from Marston, and the Baymen. Marston into the lane, has it taken away. Long shot by Jacobs, comes up short, and an exciting final few seconds of this first half has come to a close with the score. Locust Valley 32, Oyster Bay 27. We'll be back after a break with the start of the second half. You're watching boys basketball from Nassau County on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.
As the season winds down, don't let the memories of an unusual season fade. Let Varsity Media relive the season filled with great plays, exhilaration, and joy with a highlight video. For the athletes going to college, Varsity Media's recruiting videos have been the engine that drives the application to the coach. Our history has shown a Varsity Media recruiting video has saved parents hundreds of thousands of dollars. For the athletes not yet ready for college, a Varsity Media highlight video will be remembered forever, and the highlights will be there for life. An end-of-season team highlight video will capture a successful season filled with hard work, unpredictability, a testament to the administration and athletes. Call Varsity Media today to start creating a video filled with highlights from a very unusual season. Highlights that will forever be watched. Contact us at 516-403-2050.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.
Over the middle, he's got a man. It's complete. Ciolino. See you later.
Going long, wide open, Perazzi, he gets it, Perazzi, foot raise, 10, 5, make it, touchdown, punch, counter punch.
The trickery, Ryder gets it back, goes over the top for Haberman. What a catch!
Just Ross Simmons strips him, that's loose, and Ross Simmons is going to take this the other direction. Make it, touchdown, touchdown East.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.
As the season winds down, don't let the memories of an unusual season fade. Let Varsity Media relive the season filled with great plays, exhilaration, and joy with a highlight video. For the athletes going to college, Varsity Media's recruiting videos have been the engine that drives the application to the coach. Our history has shown a Varsity Media recruiting video has saved parents hundreds of thousands of dollars. For the athletes not yet ready for college, a Varsity Media highlight video will be remembered forever, and the highlights will be there for life. An end-of-season team highlight video will capture a successful season filled with hard work, unpredictability, a testament to the administration and athletes. Call Varsity Media today to start creating a video filled with highlights from a very unusual season. Highlights that will forever be watched. Contact us at 516-403-2050.
Peter Schwartz, Eric Rubin back at Locust Valley High School, where we head to the third quarter with the Locust Valley Falcons on top of the Oyster Bay Baymen 32-27. Again, thank you for spending part of your Friday evening with us here on the Varsity Media Sports Network. And Eric, you have to give Oyster Bay a tremendous amount of credit. They fell behind 9-0 before they could get on the board. They were down by double digits, but they clawed back. They got as close as 2, down by 5. Brand new basketball game.
Yeah, and it's really been the tale of 2 quarters. The first quarter, Locust Valley really dominated. We saw Oyster Bay, though, was getting good looks. They just weren't hitting those shots. And in the second quarter, those shots started to fall. They packed the defense in a little bit, made it harder for Locust Valley to get those easy inside baskets, forced them to be a perimeter team. And even though Locust Valley is a very good shooting team, they've hit a bunch of threes, it's still tough to only rely on the perimeter shot. So we'll see. Late in the second quarter, Locust Valley was able to get to the basket. We saw a couple late baskets. So we'll see if they can get back to that and they can get through that zone, get those rebounds again, and pull away here, or if Oyster Bay can keep the momentum going and pull away a big victory here.
Before the game, we highlighted DeAndre Marston of Oyster Bay, and he was electrifying in that first half, a big part of the offense. But for Locust Valley, coming back from injury tonight, playing with that torn meniscus, was Tyler Incorvaya, and missed some open shots. You could tell a little bit of a rust there, but I'm sure that head coach Andrew Siegel is okay with it. They wanted to try and get him back into the flow of things before the playoffs start.
Yeah, Locust Valley's in the playoffs. This game in the standings doesn't mean too much to them. You always want to go out and win a game, but this game is about preparing for next week's playoff game, and they're getting exactly what they want. Incorvaya is getting some of that rust off, and you can see he's a really good player, and hopefully next week he's in as good a shape as he can be.
In the meantime, a big first half for John DiDario, a big force down low for the Falcons in that first half.
Oh yeah, and especially that first quarter, Oyster Bay had no stop for him. And then Oyster Bay just sat back and they kept 3 people in the paint, and that really ended up helping. Locust Valley had some foul trouble too, had a couple of starters on the bench, so we'll see with them back now how they do in the second half.
And now Marston is fouled on the first possession here of the third quarter.
Yeah, we were talking how in the first half, Locust Valley really wasn't hedging out on the ball screens. They weren't coming out to take the ball handler, coming around the screen. And in this case, they did a good job of that. Unfortunately, DiDario committed the foul there. He got out a little late, but right idea.
Of course, non-shooting foul. Marston fouled again.
Same play. DiDario doing a great job of coming out, just using the body a little too much.
Is this designed?
As far as the offense or the defense?
No, offensively. Is that a play now? Because we've seen it on two straight possessions where they fouled him on the same exact play. Is that designed by Oyster Bay to try to draw the foul?
Yeah, I would think so. I don't know necessarily to draw the foul, but I would definitely be running that ball screen. We talked about at the end of the first half when we were off the air. That ball screen has really been effective.
There you go. Marston off the glass and in. So that time there was no foul. That time he got right to the basket and scored.
Yeah, and you commit a couple fouls, you get a little gun shy on defense sometimes. Good take by Marston.
Down to a 3-point game. Tasso driving the paint, puts up a shot, no good. Rebound to Duke. And the Baymen the other way, and there's another shot by Marston. The layup is good. It's down to a 1-point game.
Yeah, great transition basketball there, and forcing Locust Valley once again to take a tough shot.
Locust Valley up by double digits at one point, now down by just 1, and now Oyster Bay can take the lead. Gotti with the basketball. Pounds a left-handed dribble down low into the corner. Now up top, Pilatos. Pilatos holds it. Now right side to Gotti. 3-pointer is short. And Locust Valley comes away with it, and bringing it up is Incorvaya. Incorvaya. Now on the right side to Tasso. Incorvaya gets it back. They work the ball around.
I like how they have Marone at the foul line now, trying to get something inside, and unfortunately that pass.
Yeah, it's going to be an over and back.
Yeah, they did get it inside a little bit, but then they kicked it right back out. They didn't look down low at all. But yeah, Locust Valley, they have to get back to what they were doing earlier in the game, getting the ball inside. Granted, a little tougher now because Oyster Bay is packing it in, but still have to look to get the ball. And the high post is open. Marone is open in the high post. I'd love to see him get the ball, and he can do some damage. He's a terrific player.
Marston, top of the key. Up top. Now here's Pilatos. Arnados gets it back to Marston. And the Baymen being very patient here with the basketball. And we've got a whistle away from the ball. It's going to be an offensive foul on Oyster Bay.
Yeah, I think Gotti's going to be called for the moving screen. I always told my kids, if you get 1 or 2 moving screens, I don't mind too much because I like being physical, setting good screens. So good idea by Gotti. Unfortunately, he got called for it.
Oyster Bay, Locust Valley, a 1-point lead in the basketball. Incorvaya bringing it up.
There's Marone at the high post.
Here's the 3 for Incorvaya, and that one's good. He finally hits one. First basket back for Incorvaya, playing with a torn meniscus. He gets the 3, and Oyster Bay calls time.
Yeah, and
that
again,
had to feel really good for him to get that basket.
Absolutely, and I think that will spark him for the second half here. Sometimes you get that one basket, you build that confidence. But once again, getting the ball into the high post, you can see Marone gets it here. He looks down low this time, which sucks the defense in. Even though it wasn't much of a fake, the defense came in. He was able to kick it out, and Incorvaya made a deep 3 there. Good offense by Locust Valley.
Head coach Andrew Siegel says that Incorvaya is a calming influence on the team, and he's been that way all season until getting hurt. Now they have him back, and it could be such a huge factor for them going into the postseason.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Anytime you get a player of that magnitude back. And sometimes when you play without a player like that, the other kids learn to step up, and then when that player comes back, those kids are that much better, plus you're returning your great player. So Locust Valley definitely can be a force in the playoffs.
So it's a 4-point lead for Locust Valley, and after the timeout, Arnados will inbound for Oyster Bay. Vincent Arnados, a senior guard, earlier this season a career-high 6 threes, 27 points against East Rockaway. One of the top players on this Oyster Bay team. And he inbounds to Marston.
See Locust Valley sticking with their man defense.
Up top, Gotti, 3-pointer, short, and the ball's going to trickle out of bounds, and it's going to go back over to Locust Valley.
And Gotti's hit 37 threes coming into this game. He can shoot that shot. It's been off tonight, but if he starts hitting that shot, and they're only down by 4, Oyster Bay, that's going to be a big, big factor in the second half.
Incorvaya gets it over to Palagonia, and we're going to have a foul, offensive foul on Locust Valley. It's back over to the Baymen.
Yeah, what's good for the goose is good for the gander there. Michael Rice, number 5, trying to set a screen. Again, I like that, though, on the offense. You can see he's moving to the left. He's not set. But I don't mind that as a coach. You don't want to do it 3 times. Unfortunately, at both ends, it was done right in front of the referee, so it's hard to miss that one.
Nice shot there by our camera from our broadcast position to see that foul. Down low, here's a shot. Palados knocked out of bounds. It'll still be with Oyster Bay.
Yeah, nice move by Pilatus to get to the basket, but Rice on defense there stood with him and got a nice block. Oyster Bay will inbound.
Under the basket, Gotti will inbound. Guarded by Palagonia. They get it up top for Pilatos.
Better job by Locust Valley showing on that ball screen so they can't just dribble around Oyster Bay and get an easy look.
Marston was double teamed for a second, now spins into the paint, gets it back up top. 3-pointer is no good by Gotti. Rebound for the Baymen, and Duke is tied up, and they're going to have a jump ball, and the possession arrow is with the Locust Valley Falcons.
Yeah, I love those two guys. On offense, or on defense there, it was Rice, and on offense, it was Duke for Oyster Bay. Both high-energy players tracking down that ball. Really good aggressive play by both players.
Incorvaya walks it up. And the Falcons with that 4-point lead looking for more. Into the corner for Rice. Now down low in Incorvaya. Gets it to Daddario, and his shot doesn't go down.
That's what you want to do, though, Locust Valley. Get the ball inside. That was a good look. That'll fall more times than not.
That was falling in the first quarter for him, no question. Here's a 3-pointer by Pilatos. That doesn't go down for him. And Falcons back the other way. On it is Palagonia, and his pass was tipped, but it was able to be picked up by Marone. Here's the 3-pointer by Incorvaya. It's another one.
Yeah, you said it. You hit one, and sometimes you start heating up. That's going to be a big, big help in the second half here.
He's feeling it now with back-to-back threes. Marston down low, gets it to Duke. Now here's Gotti, drives the paint, tries a running left-hander. No good, comes up short. And Locust Valley the other way. Here's a 3-pointer that comes up short from Palagonia. And Oyster Bay down by 7 with the basketball. Down low, and it goes down there. It was that Gotti down low. Gotti's able to put it through, and he got the nice roll.
Yeah, and we know Gotti can score, and maybe that'll get him going here because, like we said, if he can start hitting some shots in the second half, that's a huge advantage for Oyster Bay.
Here's a 3 by Incorvaya, and that one does not connect, but a steal here by Rice. Now Rice goes to the basket, and that comes up short. And back the other way comes Gotti. Gotti into the front court.
I'd like to see Locust Valley try and work the ball inside there. The last couple times they just settle for outside shots. One fell, so it looks good.
Marston makes a nice move to get down low, draws the foul.
Yeah, quick explosive move. You can see how quick Marston is. Driving to the basket and draws yet another foul.
And again, we talked in the first half how fearless he is, and he drove again right through 2 people and was able to get his way to the charity stripe.
Yeah, that little jump stop drew the foul from behind. He got bumped.
Makes the first, and we're going to have substitutions for both sides. Preston Rothkrug comes back on for Locust Valley. And Marston hits the second, so it's back down to a 3-point game.
Locust Valley going with a little bigger lineup now. We'll see. They had such success in the first quarter with those offensive rebounds. We'll see now with 2 big guys in the game, or really 3 if you count Rice, who's playing the wing right now. 3 big guys. We'll see if they can hit the offensive glass.
Incorvaya drains another 3, his third of the third quarter, and it's back up to a 6-point game. Here's a 3 from Marston. That goes down.
Well, we said there's going to be a lot of 3s tonight, and we're not being shortchanged.
3s back and forth from both teams.
Now let's see if Locust Valley can work the ball inside.
Here's a shot from the corner. That one is good. Not a 3, but Palagonia with the long distance shot.
I guess when you shoot like that, you don't have to get the ball inside.
And they did call it a 3. It's 44-38. They did call it a 3. And there's another 3 from that corner there, no good. And Marston with another 3. That one comes up short. Inside of 2 minutes to go. Here's a 3 from the far side. Loose, picked up. Here's Incorvaya with a 3. That one's no good. Loose ball picked up by Oyster Bay, and Duke will leave it, and walking it up is Arnados.
Yeah, what we're seeing here is, because a lot of 3s are going, both teams are taking quick outside shots, and I think the team that's able to settle down and get the ball inside is going to have the better second half here.
Less than a minute and a half to go. Here's a 3 by Arnados off the mark. And Locust Valley with Incorvaya getting it down to Palagonia. And driving towards the lane is Rothkrug, and he draws the foul.
Yeah, this bigger lineup maybe will help them out. They've been hitting the 3s, though, so they haven't had to go to the offensive glass, Locust Valley. But I think this bigger lineup is definitely helping them out as they now go a little smaller. So we'll see with Tasso replacing Vidario.
Tasso back in the game, and Coach Siegel telling us he really stepped up this year with some players that were down with an injury. He's one of the players that they were able to count on when guys were down.
Yeah, and Coach Boyle now goes with a smaller lineup as he inserts Elijah Porter to counter Locust Valley's smaller lineup. And they go to man too, so Oyster Bay gets out of the zone.
Palagonia into the paint, gets it back up top. Now gets it back, drives the paint again. And here's a shot by Tasso. It's blocked, gets his own rebound, puts it back up, no good. Another rebound for Tasso. Out to Palagonia, and he drains the three-pointer.
Great job, Tasso, one of the smallest players on the court, getting 2 offensive rebounds there and getting 3 points for his team, setting up his teammate.
Joannan into the paint, puts it up, and he puts it in.
Yeah, he's been pretty impressive coming off the bench tonight with a bunch of offensive rebounds and some good takes to the basket like that one.
Oyster Bay got within 1, could not get any further than that. And now they're down by 7 here late in the third quarter as Tasso dribbles it off his foot, but he was fouled towards the paint.
Yeah, not the worst foul. He was going to get an open layup there with 7 seconds left. We'll see if Oyster Bay can settle down on defense and keep Locust Valley off the board.
Non-shooting foul, so Tasso will throw it in on the basket. Up top. Now Tasso, 5 seconds. Drives. Here is Palagonia with the three at the buzzer.
Big shot by Palagonia. Gives his team a little breathing room entering the fourth quarter as Locust Valley goes up by 10.
Back to a double-digit lead after 3. We've hit the end of the third quarter with the score. Locust Valley 50, Oyster Bay 40. You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.
It's time to get hyped with Varsity Media. We offer an array of video services sure to amp up your team. From staged preseason hype videos with custom lighting and smoke machines to sideline highlights of a big game. How can your team stand out from the crowd? Contact Varsity Media today and let us tailor something your squad will never forget. These are the best times of your life. Capture them in the most creative ways possible with the sports leader, Varsity Media.
Peter Schwartz, Eric Rubin back at Locust Valley High School. We head to the fourth quarter, 8 minutes to go, and you never know, maybe a little bit more than that, but it's Locust Valley at the end of that third quarter, Eric, exploding to get this lead back up to double digits at 10.
Yeah, and Corvaya hitting a couple big shots there as he's starting to heat up as the rust is coming off. And again, big shot at the end of that quarter by Palagonia to put his team up by 10.
So Oyster Bay will start the fourth quarter with the basketball. Marston, who's been a big force for the Baymen here tonight, electrifying player. Into the corner, Arnados. Goes cross court to Marston, and that three does not go down. Loose ball, and the Baymen hold on to it. Gotti gets it into the corner. Arnados drives into the paint. Shot is blocked. Blocked away by Rothkrug. Out of bounds.
And you can see Locust Valley started the quarter in a 2-3 zone, a little switch for them, but a weakness of his zone is that rebounding, and Oyster Bay was able to get on the glass, and get a second chance here.
Polanos, top of the key, three-pointer is short, and air ball goes out of bounds, and it'll be back over to Locust Valley.
Yeah, a little quick shot there. I'm sure he'd love to have that one back, but he is a good shooter.
Tasso will walk it up here for Locust Valley. A 10-point lead, less than a minute into the fourth quarter. Rothkrug up top. Now to Tasso. Rothkrug in the paint. Down low it goes to Rice. Up no good. Rebound no good, but he's fouled.
Again, a good job just getting the ball inside. They started to use the clock. I like that. It's too early to just sit on the ball and take the air out of the ball, but working the clock doesn't hurt when you're up by 10. And you can see the ball movement, great ball movement. They go that high-low game. Rothkrug down low with the pass, and Rice will shoot two.
Michael Rice at the line, hits the first one. Sixth man for this Locust Valley team, likes to play down low. And how about this comment from head coach Andrew Siegel on Michael Rice? The greatest attitude a kid can have.
It's pretty high praise.
Yeah. It's both free throws.
And he's playing well in limited time. He came in late in the third quarter and really has made a difference in this game.
Marston has it tied up, knocked away, loose on the court. Tasso with the ball. Ahead to Rothkrug, slams it down. Meantime, in the backcourt, DeAndre Marston is down and hurt. And as they attend to him, will step aside. 6:58 to go in the fourth quarter. Locust Valley up 54-40 on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.
Parents and athletes, why leave your college career in the hands of amateurs? Varsity Media produces professional college recruiting videos that you can use to help land a spot on the team. Our highlight reels have proven to save thousands of dollars in college tuition. You've worked hard and put the effort into your high school athletic career. Don't take any chances when it comes to your future. Varsity Media has been producing college recruiting videos since 2010. We understand what college coaches are looking for, and our attention to detail on your highlights will separate your resume from others. Stand out from the crowd. We'll help showcase your talents. Contact Varsity Media today and order a college recruiting video.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.
Over the middle, he's got a man. It's complete. Ciolino. See you later.
Going long, wide open, Perazzi, he gets it, Perazzi, foot raise, 10, 5, make it, touchdown, punch, counter punch.
The trickery, Ryder gets it back, goes over the top for Haberman. What a catch!
Just Ross Simmons strips him, that's loose, and Ross Simmons is going to take this the other direction, make it, touchdown, touchdown East.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.
It's time to get hyped with Varsity Media. We offer an array of video services sure to amp up your team. From staged preseason hype videos with custom lighting and smoke machines to sideline highlights of a big game. How can your team stand out from the crowd? Contact Varsity Media today and let us tailor something your squad will never forget. These are the best times of your life. Capture them in the most creative ways possible with the sports leader, Varsity Media.
Peter Schwartz, Eric Rubin back at Locust Valley High School, and DeAndre Marston helped off and being attended to behind the bench. Scary scene there. He went down. Looked like he hit his head, and they just had to, help him up, and they cleaned up a little blood that was on the court. But it looks like he's going to be okay. They're looking at him behind the Oyster Bay bench.
Yeah, and we'll see if he's able to come back. It was good hustle diving on the floor for that loose ball, and he'll get cleared by the trainer there, and hopefully he'll be well enough to come back into the game.
Elijah Porter now on for the Baymen. He has the basketball right there, number 13. As Oyster Bay whips it around, Arnados. And here's Pilatos. And here's a three-pointer from Joannan, comes up short. And Locust Valley into the front court. Tasso with the basket, and he's fouled.
Yeah, great take by Tasso going into the big guy there. Pilatos on defense, and he was able to finish well. Draw the foul for a three-point play, potentially.
And now Locust Valley up to a 16-point lead. They had a double-digit lead in the first half, and Oyster Bay in the third quarter had gotten it down to 1, and now it's ballooned back up to 16. And Tasso can't complete the three-point play. Arnados takes it away here for Oyster Bay.
You know, Oyster Bay had to expend so much energy coming back from that early hole. Sometimes that takes a little bit out of you. And Locust Valley had some guys on the bench, resting, foul trouble, and they've come back really strong.
Arnados up top, three-pointer, that's good. From downtown, Arnados.
They really needed that one. It's been a while since they've scored. Locust Valley was pulling away. See if that can get him back in at Oyster Bay.
Marone gets it down low for Rothkrug. Can't complete, but he is fouled. And he'll go to the line.
Yeah, tough vantage point here, but I believe that was a little block-to-block screen. Rothkrug started on the far side. You can see Rice going across, setting that screen. You can see he's moving a little bit, but that's kind of a legal screen for the most part. They give you a little leeway to move. Great job using his body, Rice, setting up the two shots here for Rothkrug.
We saw Rothkrug with the slam as he misses the first free throw. And earlier this season against Cold Spring Harbor, he had an amazing dunk that you would put on the highlight reel.
Yeah, tonight was pretty impressive, too.
Yeah, and he hits the second one. It rattles around and in, and it's 57-43.
Oyster Bay really needs to get a good look here. It's a key juncture in the game. If they don't score, Locust Valley pulling away.
Here's Pilatos. He drains the three. Another three-pointer for the Baymen to get within 11.
Big shot, and he went deep for that one. Locust Valley knows he can shoot. They were playing him, but he backed up a good 3-4 feet behind the line for that one.
Palagonia out to Marone. He drives the paint, and he's fouled.
I think that's going to be a 1-and-1. We'll see if they updated the scoreboard quickly. I think that's the 7th foul, and it is. Of course, in high school, 7th foul of the half is a 1-and-1 for the boys. The 10th foul is a double bonus, 2 shots.
That's why we have you in the booth.
See, the ref was about to inbound the ball. He heard me talking, and they said 1-and-1. I don't think it was me, but I'll take credit for it.
Take all the credit you can get. Always. From a former coach's perspective, what's this like for you to be in this chair? Because it's got to be a different, unique perspective for you to do this for the first time.
Oh, absolutely. I've been on the bench for 20 years, so to sit out a season and watch from a distance, kind of recharge the batteries here, but it's a lot of fun, and we're right on the court here, our perspective. We're literally sitting on the baseline, so it's kind of like I'm back on the bench. It really feels good.
You could be our coach. You could be our coach.
We're a little too old to play them.
Marone hits both free throws.
We'd have to walk the ball up the court. Yeah. I don't think I can keep up with this game.
Yeah, basketball was never my sport when I was a kid. Always loved watching it. I would play it in the playground, but never competitively. It wasn't for me. I don't think I had the girth for it. There's a three-pointer in the corner for Arnados.
Nice screen along the baseline to free up Arnados. Big shot there. Brings him to within 10.
And there's a rare miscue from Tasso out of bounds, and a turnover back over to Oyster Bay.
Yeah, Oyster Bay hanging around here. It looked like Locust Valley was going to pull away. They've been playing great in the second half. Locust Valley, good adjustments. But Oyster Bay hanging in there. Marston's back in the game. That's big for them.
Here's another three from the corner. Arnados. That one comes up short. And the Falcons back the other way. Here's Tasso driving into the lane. His shot is blocked by Pilatos out of bounds. It'll stay with Locust Valley, and they're going to call a timeout. 4:38 to go in the fourth quarter. It's Locust Valley by 10 on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.
Over the middle, he's got a man. It's complete. Ciolino. See you later.
Going long. Wide open. Perazzi. He gets it. Perazzi. Foot raise. 10, 5. Make it. Touchdown. Punch. Power punch.
The trickery. Ryder gets it back. Goes over the top for Haberman. What a catch.
Just Ross Simmons strips him. That's loose. And Ross Simmons is going to take this the other direction. Make it. Touchdown. Touchdown East.
As we come back, Marone gets the inbounds pass. They get it back up top, and there's a foul. And here's good news for Oyster Bay, Eric, is DeAndre Marston is back in the game.
Yeah, and he made a difference right there. He got the steal and drew a quick foul. I mean, I haven't seen a player draw as many fouls as Marston draws in a long, long time.
Oh, he has been fantastic, and he'll be a big loss for Oyster Bay as he is a graduating senior, so winding down his high school career here tonight. Here's a three from the far side by Gotti. Rebound to Marston, has it taken away, and Locust Valley back the other way. Here's a three-point shot by Palagonia, is no good off the iron. Rebound to Marone. He comes down the paint, no good. Rebound, again no good. That was a shot by Daddario. Now driving the paint is Marone, and offensive foul. Although they called steps before the offensive foul.
Yeah, that's one of those as a referee. You kind of want to call an offensive foul, but it was close, so you can get away with calling a travel there. And that's exactly what they did.
Yep.
So I don't mind that call whatsoever.
3 minutes, 55 seconds to go in this fourth quarter. 10-point lead for Locust Valley as Marston walks it up slowly. Marston right-handed dribble, puts up the shot and just doesn't fall, and the rebound to Marone, and the Falcons back the other way. Now Tasso, right in front of us, to the top of the key, in towards the paint, gets it over to Daddario, and he drains that shot.
As I'm saying in my head, use the clock, and then they hit the 2 anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Now Marston comes right back for a basket. Back to a 10-point lead for Locust Valley.
Yeah, and up by 10, you want to work the clock. Yeah, they got that 1-2-2 trap, trying to make Locust Valley play quick, and they take the quick shot, so they play right into the hands of Oyster Bay there, and that worked out for Oyster Bay.
And Corvaya not able to complete that shot. Now into the corner, three-pointer for Pilatos, no good, and the rebound to Corvaya.
Yeah, he didn't have his feet set there, fading away a little. Tough shot.
Three-point shot from Marone is no good. And here's Marston quickly back the other way to the paint, to the glass. Shot is blocked.
I think they called the foul, though, 2 shots.
Yeah, it was blocked, and he was fouled by Marone.
Interesting to see if Coach Siegel calls a timeout just to talk to his team about using the clock here.
Looking at it on the replay, and
yeah, it's hard to see on the replay, but little body perhaps contact.
Probably couldn't have complained about it if they didn't call the foul, but they did. Marston comes up short on the first free throw.
Yeah, and like I was saying, Locust Valley really should use the clock here. They're up by 10, perhaps 9 after the free throw with just under 3 minutes to go.
Marston hit the free throw, but somebody in the crowd blew an air horn as he was shooting it, and I would gather somebody in the stands is going to get spoken to about that.
Yeah, you can cheer, you can scream. You're not supposed to get personal, and you're not supposed to be using devices like that. So we see the athletic director taking care of it now for the Locust.
She's serving as the public address announcer too tonight. So now she's pulling double duty and walking over, and she's going to have a word with somebody who fired. I think they saw exactly who it was. And
I think this is going to actually work out for Locust Valley because Coach Siegel gets an unofficial timeout. You see him on the side talking to his team, and I'm sure he's telling them, hey, we have to use the clock here. If I was coaching right now, I would tell them, let's not shoot until we're about 10 seconds on the shot clock or less. Let's have a wide open layup.
Well, they are still attempting to try and get the air horn. So why don't we step aside here? 2:40 to go in the fourth quarter. 61-52. Locust Valley on top on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.
It's time to get hyped with Varsity Media. We offer an array of video services sure to amp up your team. From staged preseason hype videos with custom lighting and smoke machines to sideline highlights of a big game.
We are back. Almost a disaster for Locust Valley on the inbounds pass as Tasso wasn't ready for the pass but is able to get it. They beat the trap, get it into the front court. Up top, here's the shot by Marone. No good. Rebound to Gotti. And the Baymen down by 9.
Yeah, you can see Corvaya kind of held up on the shot on the wing trying to use the clock, but again, looks a little quick on these shots. Maybe they want to use some clock. Giving Oyster Bay a chance here.
Marston drives down low, puts up a shot, no good. Rebound to Daddario. And let's see if Locust Valley tries to run clock. First, they have to beat the press here, and they do. Now into the paint, down low to Dario, off the glass and in.
Yeah, you don't want to necessarily pass up a layup. So as much as you want to use a clock, a layup like that you can live with.
That
definitely.
was a gimme.
Yeah, definitely.
Down the lane is Pilato. Shot is blocked. Tasso the other way towards the basket. Alley-oop to... Trying to see who that was. I think that was Marone on the finish. It was Marone on the nice play there. Here's a steal by Corvaya, and it's out of bounds as Tasso couldn't catch up to it.
Yeah, Locust Valley putting their stamp on the game at the end here.
I want to see that great play from a moment ago. There was a nice pass by Tasso, and Marone is able to complete it. That was a pretty play.
Yeah, I think they were looking for the dunk on that, but it was a little tough from that angle. But really nice play regardless, and great finish. That's not that easy.
Here's Pilatos, comes up short on the three. And here's a breakaway for Tasso. Off the glass and in.
Marone was calling for that bank off the glass there. He wanted the dunk.
And I think that might just do it. 15-point game with a little over a minute to go. Oyster Bay with Arnados in the corner. Here's Joannin into the paint. His shot no good. Rebound, Locust Valley. And now they're just going to slow it down with a foul is called in the backcourt.
I believe they called the timeout just
before
the foul.
Yeah, it might have been some
kind of
contact.
simultaneous.
I heard the whistle, but it'll be a timeout. We'll hold it right here with less than a minute to go in this game, and really this, Eric, has been your classic game of runs. Locust Valley opened up the game with the 9-0 run. They got it to a double-digit lead in the second quarter. Oyster Bay chipped away. They got within one in the third quarter. You saw Locust Valley pull away again. Oyster Bay with a little bit of a run, and now you see Locust Valley putting the finishing touches on this one.
Yeah, definitely a game of runs. And when you have a lot of three-point shooting, it's hard to consistently hit threes the whole game. So some team gets hot, they make a run. The other team gets hot, they make a run. And that's what we've seen tonight. But the score is not going to be indicative of the effort of Oyster Bay. They played a really good game against a very good Locust Valley team. And, they might lose by about 15, but it was a closer game than that. And for Locust Valley, they really finished strong, and I think this is going to be a good confidence booster, not just for Tyler and Corvaya in his return, but for the team pulling away and playing such a good fourth quarter here.
Tasso loses the handle down the paint. Oyster Bay the other way. Arnados into the corner. Marston makes a move. Jump shot, no good. Rebound to Dario. Ahead of the field to Tasso. Into the paint. His shot is blocked, but he's also fouled by Arnados. And Tasso will go to the line with 35.9 on the clock.
Yeah, and Locust Valley is going to come with the massive substitutions here. You can see Tasso using his body, just slowing down to draw the foul, and they're going to get a chance to give some applause to their seniors here at Locust Valley. Not sure if they're going to have a home game or not in the playoffs, so perhaps their last home game. Going to get some cheers for their seniors who have been very, very strong over the last few years and had a great season here.
Silvio Tasso hits the shot, and you're seeing some ovations on the bench as Dario comes off. And also Marone will take a seat and coming to the bench as well as Palagonia.
And they're going to go into the playoffs on a very high note here. Locust Valley is going to be dangerous.
Tasso short on the free throw, 35 on the clock, and Marston is fouled by Tasso.
I think they just want to get him out so he can get some applause too, Tasso.
He comes out, in comes Zachary Zagaric, a senior.
And that's the bonus, so it'll be 1-1.
Mendelara is back in for Locust Valley, number 4.
And Oyster Bay being their last game here, a couple seniors, they really went out on a high note. Again, I know the final score is not going to look great, but Marston, Arnados, Duke, their seniors really played well and left it all on the court tonight, so they should be proud of the way they finished their high school careers.
Marston with the free throw. Into the front court here is Glavin for Oyster Bay. Now there's Zagaric, drives the paint. Jacobs, three-pointer, no good. Rebound is picked up by Glavin. Glavin goes hard to the glass, loses possession, and Oyster Bay has the ball. Joannin, he lost it at midcourt. Jacobs looks for the alley-oop to Glavin. And here's a three-pointer at the buzzer by Penny that comes up no good. And we've reached the end of this game. The final score, Locust Valley 68 and Oyster Bay 54. So a big win for Locust Valley heading into the postseason, Eric. And I think the Oyster Bay team will like some of the things they did tonight, but more so Locust Valley as they head towards the playoffs. A good night for them to get ready for the postseason.
Yeah, and they got in Corvaya that necessary experience, and we saw a little rust in the first half, but played a really, really strong second half, and that's a good sign for them going into the playoffs.
All right, Eric, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Great job, and I want to thank everybody for watching tonight on the Varsity Media Sports Network. Thanks to Nick Liuzzi and Nick Costi for their help here at the broadcast table tonight. For Eric Rubin, I'm Peter Schwartz, reminding you once again our final score, Locust Valley 68, Oyster Bay 54. Have a good night, everyone.